Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Madden and 2K coins on the market. And of course, do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. A link for their website is at the top of the description. Today, we are ranking all 32 92 overall team diamonds. And here's the tier list so far. We're not going to go over all 32, but all 32 will be ranked today. Here's, I think, maybe half of them. But we have two 6-foot safeties here, Sammy Knight and Lawyer Malloy. They're basically the same card. One just plays free safety, one plays strong safety, low man coverage, good zone, 6 foot, 90 speed. We then have Victor Green right behind them. The only knock on Victor Green really is maybe the hit power for a strong safety and also the fact that he's 5'11". But he is one speed faster than Malloy and Sammy Knight and does have some slightly better man coverage. So I guess these three safeties kind of comes down to your play style and how you play defense. If you're kind of just playing zone or need a box safety, I'd go with Sammy or Malloy. But if you need a guy that can play more like a cornerback, I think Victor Green makes a little bit more sense for you. And for the quarterbacks, anticipating that nothing crazy happens, this is where I will probably rank these guys unless they give, Bernie Slinger 1. If that does happen, go check the pinned comment. Go check it regardless in case anything, crazy does happen on any of these cards. But we should have a pretty good idea. I've been playing this game for long enough where I got a pretty good idea where these guys are going to be going. So Bernie does get some decent discounted abilities, does get discounted Fearless and Quick Draw. And Burt Jones does get discounted Set Feet. But he can also get Fearless in his normal slot. So you can actually run Set Feet Fearless on Burt Jones, which is a big W. The same might go for Bernie, but the reason why I like Burt so much is because of the stats right here. And obviously this could go the other way as well. They could give Burt Jones an awful release and he can maybe move down a tier, but these stats are pretty top tier. I mean, they are, right? I mean, you got good throw under pressure, you got good, good accuracy stats, good throw power, good speed where you can kind of escape. So hopefully they don't cheat him with the release, but maybe, if he has Slinger 1, he could be the best quarterback in the game easily. But speaking of the best quarterback in the game, here is someone who is literally the best quarterback in the game, and he's not going to be on today's tier list because obviously he is, miles and miles ahead of all these 92s, but if you played Madden 22, this John Elway card is Madden 23's version of, Dan Marino. So yeah, this card is juiced. 96 overall. You are going to have to complete all of the sets for the team diamonds in order to get this card. So very, very expensive. My prediction on Elway's price is probably about 4 to 5 mil, which, yeah, makes sense because you guys see the stats. 96 overall. He's by far the best QB in the game. Gets the best release in the game, though Rodgers, normally the Favre release, who's not going to be in the game this year most likely, and gets pretty crazy abilities. Hot Route Master 3 AP, Set Feet, 1 AP Gunslinger, 1 AP Fearless. All I know is 1 AP Gunslinger with Slinger 1 is just insane. I don't think you'll be able to get all these abilities at once, obviously, but still just super nasty. Easily, at a 96 overall, John Elway is by far probably the best card, definitely the best card in the game right now, and easily the best quarterback in the game. This card looks crazy, man. Me from the future, thank you for breaking down the Team Diamond champion. Let's get started with two tight ends. And of course, these tight ends are Greg Olsen and Jason Witten. So these cards are very similar. Jason Witten I do like a little bit more because he's 6'6", 260, and also does get 1 AP slot apprentice, which is obviously pretty nice. You've got like Greg Olsen, who's going to get deep out elite 1 AP and tight end apprentice 1 AP. So if you're going to be running your tight end actually at tight end, that means his hands in the ground, then yeah, tight end apprentice is going to be the move for you. The corner routes, the crossers, the trail routes, stuff like that. Jason Witten with the slot apprentice, I do like a little bit more because like in bunch this year, when your tight end standing up, it's considered slot this year. So having that slot apprentice is definitely clutch. Also the fact he's a good run blocker, good short route running, 6'6", 260. This card's going to be, if I were to compare him to someone that you might be used to using in a Madden, maybe like a Rob Gronkowski, maybe, that's a good comparison for this card. So, yeah, we're going to be ranking these guys both at low A tier. Jason Witten actually might move up a little bit. I think Jason Witten could be like over these safeties, and I'll put Greg Olsen towards the bottom of it. That's how much I like Jason Witten's card because he can run block, and he's going to be a monster after the catch, good abilities. I'm definitely a fan of the Jason Witten card. Now we have Packer legend wide receiver Donald Driver. 6 foot with 91 speed, which is pretty good. 91 speed is very good right now for receivers. With the 92 jumping, hits 2 or 3 thresholds, 91 spec catch, and does get 1 AP mid and elite and 1 AP jukebox. And that's a good indication that, yeah, I mean, he's going to be good after the catch too. Donald Driver cards always play kind of well. So Donald Driver, I think, definitely does deserve a little bit of respect. And if we look at the wide receiver landscape right now, if we go back and we can, we go to wide receiver, we'll go wide receiver and we'll sort by speed. You're going to see that it's still pretty good. Obviously, while I'm recording this, Ja'Marr Chase is not out yet and on the database, but Jamar's going to have 92 speed as well. So 6 foot with 91 speed, hitting 2 thresholds. He's not going to be better than any of these 6'5", 6'3" guys in DK, but he's going to fall like right underneath them. So definitely, a top tier receiver option, especially for his Steam team. So yeah, Donald Driver, mid to low A tier easily. So next up, we have the Madden 22 legend, Charlie Joyner. And this one might surprise some people, but, I'm going to put this card pretty high on the tier list today. I really am. 92 speed, like I just said, tied for the fastest in the game right now with Ja'Marr Chase. He does remind me a lot of Ja'Marr Chase because he hits 3 thresholds, 92 speed. He's going to play a lot like it, and obviously we don't know the prices of these cards, so, if you had to choose, I probably would go Ja'Marr Chase over him just because of the 1 inch. But, yeah, a very solid card. Does get 1 AP short out and 1 AP mid in. So, yeah, Charlie Joyner is going to go high A tier in front of Sammy Knight, in front of Lawyer Malloy, in front of Victor Green. And yes, I know Donald Driver's 1 inch taller, but give me 3 thresholds and better speed over that 1 inch. 10 times out of 10, Charlie Joyner high A tier easily. Okay, so we're on a bit of a wide receiver streak here, but we have Heinz Ward. And this card is going to get overlooked. I'm telling you right now, he's going to get overlooked, and it makes sense. I think Joyner's better. I think Driver's better. There's one more guy who I do think is also better. But Heinz Ward can do things that those guys can't, okay? Hear me out. He's a slot archetype, which I think is my favorite archetype in the game right now. I love slot archetypes right now. And he also gets 1 AP honorary lineman, which is not normal for a slot archetype, and 2 AP slot-o-matic. And normally slot-o-matic is 4 AP on these slot archetypes, so having that half off is super clutch. It's basically like mid-in, mid-out, short-in, short-out with boosted catching all in one and like boosted route running. So slot-o-matic is really good. The only reason why I don't run it right now is because of how expensive it is to run. But for just 2 AP on Heinz Ward, it's pretty solid. So he's doing things that these other receivers just simply cannot. So Heinz Ward, going to be a good run blocker, going to have that slot-o-matic or even 1 AP short in, or if you want to go slot apprentice for 2 AP, go for it. But Heinz Ward, I'm going to put him high B tier. Might not be the best, route runner, pass catcher on here. But, like I said, can do things that maybe these other 92s receivers can't do that maybe would work in your offense. So Heinz Ward, B tier, and a solid option. Like, I'm not judging you if you're running Heinz Ward over Donald Driver. I'm not. Okay, so let's just finish out these wide receivers. We have Mark Clayton and we have Doug Baldwin. So Mark Clayton is going to get deep out elite 1 AP, outside apprentice 1 AP. There's only I think 3 receivers in the game right now that get outside apprentice 1 AP. It could be 3 or 4, I don't really remember. But that's pretty good. Outside apprentice 1 AP solid. The only issue with this card is the fact that he's 5'9". He's going to be an expensive Marquise Hollywood Brown. That's what this card's going to be. That's the one knock on him. The stats look good. The 91 speed looks good. But I mean, when you have other receivers in this game that are, 6'3", 6'5", and can do all the things that Clayton can, are as fast, if not faster, it's hard to justify really running Mark Clayton. So we're going to throw Mark Clayton down here at D tier. It sucks. I remember back in Madden 21, I think it was, whenever he got his first upgrade, he was like the best receiver in the game because we didn't have these super tall guys and his speed was groundbreaking. This year, not really the same case. And for Doug Baldwin, only hitting 1 threshold. This card is going to get 1 AP deep out elite, 1 AP mid in elite. So I'm definitely going to take Mark Clayton's abilities over, Doug Baldwin's, like, for sure. They're both deep threats. I do like deep threats for runoff elite 1 AP, I do. But outside of that, yeah. I'm going to go Doug Baldwin basically like right next to Mark Clayton. It's up to your preference. If you want to go outside apprentice, I go Mark Clayton. Doug Baldwin, obviously kind of a nostalgic name for me. I love Doug Baldwin, so it definitely pains me to put him this low. But at 5'10" and 5'9", both these guys just kind of have to be down there. So now we have one of the most unique cards I think we may have ever gotten, but I mean, besides like some ad position guys or whatever, this card's going to be unique and somewhat of a mystery to me right now. I don't see this card being bad, like at all. He's a fullback, so that's, I guess, maybe a knock on him, I guess, but he's going to be a legitimate running back option and can run block. So if you're someone like me who is going to be using a fullback, Joe Perry's interesting. So if we look at, not only, fullbacks, I mean, running backs as well, he's tied for the fastest in the game right now. He's tied for that. Is he going to be like a Dickerson or a Walter? I don't know. And he's only going to be 200 pounds as well. It's not like he's a super heavy, like a more like traditional fullback. So it's going to be an interesting card. I don't really know what he's going to be, but all I do know is that he does get short in elite for 1 AP and 1 AP jukebox as well, which is another very interesting thing. You know, he's got the crazy speed. We don't know like acceleration, COD, and stuff like that. But with jukebox being an indication of what this card is, I don't know who Joe Perry is, to be honest with you. I have no idea. But I feel like he's going to have good COD, good agility because he has that 1 AP jukebox and the strength. Could be maybe like a Walter-like card that can also run block very well. So if you're someone like me who's going to be using those 2 backs in the backfield and you need one of these guys to be a good run blocker, Joe Perry is going to be a really good option and also does get really good discounted abilities as well for a fullback. So Joe Perry, I'm going to put him at high A tier. Again, there is some question marks around this card. I think he can definitely move up a tier or maybe move down A tier depending on what the full stats look like. But based off those stats and his build and the pre-baked abilities, I think high A tier is definitely a good bet for Joe Perry. So now we have the Jet legend Matt Forte. And I'm going to be honest, if you're not, a big Matt Forte fan like I was growing up, or have a Jets or a Bears team, I don't really see a point in going after Forte. We have so many good running back options right now in the game, like we kind of just saw. But I mean, there's just so many good running back options. He's going to be, the best comparison is going to be like an Edgerrin James. Edgerrin is going to have an inch on Forte, but Matt Forte should be about 6'1", 220 pounds, should be somewhere in that range. And he's going to be very similar to Edgerrin James. Edgerrin James' discount abilities, backfield master, jukebox, RB apprentice, 1 AP. So right there, the discounted abilities are already better on Edgerrin. But Forte is going to get 1 AP backfield mismatch, 2 AP RB apprentice. So if you want a pass catcher, bigger body back, Edgerin's a better option. Like I said, if you don't have a Bears or a Jets team or a big Forte fan, there's really no point going after this card, but he should play well. I mean, he's got good enough speed and, acceleration, COD, break tackle, catching, stuff like that. So I'm going to put Forte at, mid B tier. So now we have another interesting card that some people are going to feel like I kind of cheated where I ranked this card, or people are going to feel like he might be too high. It's definitely an interesting one, depending on how you feel about, corners that are under 6 foot. We have the 5'10" D'Angelo Hall, who is tied for the fastest corner in the game right now with Stephon Gilmore. And I mean, he's got good man. He's got good zone. He's a zone archetype corner. Going to get mid-zone KO 1 AP, deep out, zone KO for 2 AP, and then pick artist for 1 AP. So pretty decent abilities if you are a zone coverage guy. But the 5'10" scares me on this card, especially when we have, 6'5", 6'8" receivers roaming the fields of MUT right now in an ag catch meta. The shorter the corner, the worse, in my opinion. So I would say if D'Angelo Hall was 6 foot, he'd be S tier easily, I think. But the fact that he's 5'10", I know we're like kind of splitting hairs here, but I'll put him high B tier. I just don't know, man. 5'10" is tough. And if he was a man-to-man archetype, for me, I would have him a little higher maybe. If he had maybe like a route KO instead of all zone KOs, he might be a little bit higher too. But in a man coverage meta, in an ag catch meta, a zone archetype, 5'10" corner, who's tied for the fastest in the game, is tough to put in A tier, in my opinion. But let me know down below. Should D'Angelo Hall be higher or should he be lower? Let me know what you guys think. Definitely a very interesting card. So now we have Terrell Davis. I think this card's going to be one of the more popular Team Diamond options. And, TD and the TD promo just kind of makes sense as well. But, 91 speed, which we already went over, the fullbacks, running backs, is tied for the fastest in the game right now. This card does remind me a lot of Walter Payton because he's elusive and has, the trucking and the break tackle to back it up. And for his, discounted abilities, he is going to get 0 AP recuperation, which is pretty solid, and then 2 AP evasive. Evasive, I'm not the biggest fan of this year because I don't like the spin move this year. So it's kind of like a 2 AP jukebox kind of thing. Like you're basically, you might as well run evasive because you never know when you're going to spin, but jukebox normally 2 AP. You know what I mean? So, the evasive ability, it's not really that big of a deal, but, good break tackle, and he is 206 pounds. This card, like I said, does remind me a little bit of Walter Payton. So, Terrell Davis, we're going to throw him at S tier. I think he's our first S tier entry today. Good speed, and really do everything as a running back. This card should play very, very well. So now we have another zone coverage Team Diamond cornerback. And the big difference between D'Angelo Hall and Samari Rolle is not only one speed, but also the fact that Samari is 6 foot. And on the right theme team, or right strat cards is what I meant to say, you can get this guy to maybe like 98 or 99 zone maybe potentially, which is pretty nasty. So yeah, if you're a zone coverage guy, that's big. And yeah, flat zone KO 1 AP, deep out zone KO is going to be 2 AP on this guy. So another zone corner, but can definitely hang his own in man coverage if you need him to. And also 6 foot. I mean, 6 foot corners with 91 speeder. Pretty hard to come by in this year's game. I feel like we're going to just start getting a bunch of super tall corners like Surtain and, you know, Sherman in the coming, you know, maybe weeks or so, maybe for most feared even. But yeah, Samari Roll I think is S tier. Is he super high in S tier? I mean, S tier is still S tier at the end of the day, so there's that. But yeah, Samari Roll I think is S tier because 6 foot, the speed and the stats as well are really good. So now we have another card that, I mean, another man that I was just a fan of growing up. And I mean, how could you not love Jacoby Jones? How could you not? Unless you're a Niners fan, then I understand it. But Jacoby Jones is finally here. He's 6'3", has 3 thresholds. For his discounted abilities, he does get 2 AP return man and 1 AP mid in elite. And I mean, that's pretty good speed for a receiver. He's 6'3", 3 thresholds. And I can guarantee you this card's going to be a monster after the catch. I can guarantee it. So, you know, kind of fits the current meta of MUT right now. Tall receivers that can run routes and make plays. So, Jacoby Jones, easily an S tier card. Easily. I mean, he's a top tier receiver and a top tier team diamond. So now we have another safety here, another guy that is easily in S tier. Glover Quinn, 6 foot, 91 speed. And if we take a look at the safety landscape right now, strong and free, you're going to see that 91 speed's tied for the fastest. And he's going to be kind of like a Derwin James. Derwin's taller. I think Derwin is probably still the best safety in the game. Maybe you can say Nolan because he's 6'1", but big fan of the Derwin card. He's also very affordable. I think he is, yeah, probably the best safety in the game right now. But with all that being said, I still like Glover Quinn a lot. 6 foot, 91 speed, the good acceleration. Can't hit like a guy like Derwin, but he's a free safety. Can play man, can play zone. You know, again, with the right strat cards, you can boost him pretty well. So, yeah, Glover Quinn's going to be, or Glover, however you say his name. Glover. I think it's Glover, though. I'm pretty sure it's Glover. So, yeah, Glover Quinn is another no-brainer S-tier card for me. I'm going to put him right in between Terrell Davis and Jacoby Jones. And finally, last but not least, we have what I think is probably the most complete card in today's promo, and that is Pete Medzalars. I believe is how you would say his name. And the reason he's the most complete is because he is 6'7", 254 pounds. And if you don't know, this is what MUT uses to, you know, do their heights and their weights and their theme team. So he's gonna get Lions, Panthers, Bills, and Seahawks. And yeah, that build with 89 speed, 95 short route running, the spec catch, the run block, the catching, it's all there. Like everything's there, and gets good discounted abilities with 2 AP deep out elite, which yes, is going to make him an ad catch demon, and 1 AP red zone a threat, which is going to make him a red zone demon depending on how you want to use your tight end. This card is the most complete card coming out tomorrow easily. Pete right to the top. And that is our Team Diamond tier list today. Obviously, the champion's not on here, but he is maybe 2 tiers above these guys. But yeah, Pete, our top 5, we got Pete, we got Jacoby, we got Glover, we got Terrell Davis, we have Samari Roll. Drop a comment down below. What do you guys think about today's tier list? What would you change? Who's too low? Who's too high? Let me know down below. And as always, I will see you boys in the next one.